Germans love to complain. It's a part of the culture, and as weird as it sounds, it actually helps build a sense of community. So if you've been wondering how to chime in, make small talk, and break the ice with Germans, this video is for you. Hello, my name is Salome. I'm a native German teacher from Frankfurt, and my mission with this channel is to help expats become conversational in German, feel more integrated into German culture, and connect with natives on a deeper level. I upload weekly lessons for beginner learners in plain English. So if you've been looking for easy to digest lessons to learn practical everyday German, you're in the right place. And if this sounds like something you need more of, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. So why do Germans complain so much? Understanding this can really help you get to know the German culture better. For Germans, complaining isn't just about venting. It's actually a way to make small talk, bond with others, and sometimes even tell a full story. Germans, as you might know, value honesty and directness, which makes a casual and polite small talk found in other cultures often seem insincere and a little bit shallow. This might also be why making small talk with Germans can sometimes feel very challenging for non-Germans. A nice chit-chat just doesn't cut it here. Instead, complaining becomes a genuine way to connect and tell a story. Like, for example, imagine someone had a problem with a product, called customer service, and then ended up on a wild ride of frustration. Customer service in Germany can be notoriously hit or miss. Let's just say it's not exactly known for being the best, but that's a story for another day. After endless back and forth, they might finally get a refund, and just when you think the saga is over, there could be a cliffhanger where they're still waiting for a response to their complaint. Then you tell them about your terrible customer service experience, and the next thing you know, you're building a genuine relationship with someone. So now that we know about the cultural aspect of this, let's dive into some common topics and phrases Germans use to complain that you can use as well to make small talk successfully. Bist du bereit? Los geht's! The most common topic that Germans love to complain about forever and ever is, drum rolls please, you've probably guessed it. Yes, it's the weather. The weather in Germany is always a bit of a drama. It's either sweltering hot or freezing cold. Never just right. In winter, we're all vitamin D deprived, and come summer, it's a heat wave without any air conditioning in most German homes or even hotels. So public swimming pools and lakes turn into crowded hotspots because everyone's desperately trying to cool off. It's a never-ending story. So if you're ready to join in on the weather complaints and all the little frustrations that come with it, here are some common phrases you might need sorted based on the seasons. Let's start with spring, which is der Frühling in German. In spring, we have a very common saying that is April, April, der macht, was will. April, he does what he wants. And that is because weather in April is absolutely crazy in Germany. From snowing to hailstorms to bright sunshine and hot weather, April basically covers everything and anything in between. It's really concerning sometimes. The next phrase that has become more and more common is Es ist Frühling und es schneit. It's spring and it's snowing. Especially in the recent years, that hasn't been an uncommon situation. Das kann doch nicht wahr sein. This can't be true. This is also a very common phrase that you can use for all sorts of situations. Das kann doch nicht wahr sein. Da freut man sich aufs warme Wetter und dann sowas. You look forward for the warm weather and then this happens. The next one is one of my favorites when people start talking about back in the day. Früher war's die Zeit schon warm. Back in the day, it was already warm around this time. Germans love to talk about back in the day. Früher war alles besser. Back in the day, everything was better. Now on to the summertime. Der Sommer. Es ist viel zu heiß. It's way too hot. Es ist viel zu heiß. Die Schwimmbäder sind total überfüllt. The swimming pools or the public swimming pools are totally overcrowded. Überfüllt means overcrowded. And the next couple I have definitely used multiple times this summer are die Hitze macht mich total verrückt. The heat is driving me crazy. Die Hitze macht mich total verrückt. Ich kann nachts nicht schlafen. I can't sleep at night. Ich kann nachts nicht schlafen. Und das Wetter macht mich fix und fertig. Fix and fertig is a phrase that we use when something is wearing us out or making us really, really exhausted. Das Wetter macht mich fix und fertig. Die Hitze erschlägt einen ja. Erschlagen technically means to hit someone, so the heat is hitting one. Obviously, you wouldn't say it like that in English. In English, we would say the heat is overwhelming. And also in this sentence, you'll find a ja at the end of the phrase. This doesn't mean yes in this context. So ja in this context is actually a modal particles that is used to put emphasis on that sentence. It doesn't have any meaning in that sentence at all. It really just functions as putting emphasis on that sentence. So whenever you see ja at the end of a sentence or in the middle of a sentence, it most likely doesn't mean yes. It most likely is a modal particles to help you emphasize what you're trying to say. So how about autumn, der Herbst? You might think after the hot summer weather without air conditioning, everyone would be looking forward for it to cool down. But guess what? Especially this year, it cooled down way too quickly. September came around and temperatures dropped immediately to below 10 degrees Celsius. So this can't be right either, right? And also it gets dark again way too early. And for that we would say, es wird wieder so früh dunkel. Die Tage werden so schnell kürzer. And the next one is also a very common one. It's the same every single year and people complain about the same thing every single year. Es ist gerade mal September und schon gibt's Weihnachtskram in den Supermärkten. It's only September and there's already Christmas stuff in the supermarkets. It really is. So September comes around and the supermarkets are full of Lebkuchen, which is gingerbread, and the Christmas chocolates and the advents calendars and all of that. It's sometimes a little bit too much. And I think the problem is also that people associate Christmas with the end of the year and then they realize time has passed once again way too fast this year, and that kind of enables a whole other conversation or complaint. In autumn, it also rains quite a lot in Germany, so people would say, wann hört es endlich mal auf zu regnen? When will it finally stop raining? Kaum ist der Sommer vorbei, ist es wieder arschkalt. Summer is barely over and it's freezing cold again. Arschkalt, by the way, translated word for word, actually means as cold. So we would use that to really exaggerate that it's freezing cold. Es ist arschkalt. You might think that if Germans are already complaining about how cold autumn is, winter must be even worse. Well, guess what? In December, it's not cold enough. There is no snowy Christmas or winter wonderland at the Christmas markets anymore, thanks to global warming. December now brings mild temperatures. Instead of enjoying a warm Glühwein at the Christmas market, you might as well just want to have a cold beer. So here are some common phrases that you might hear. Weihnachten ohne Schnee, das gab's früher nicht. Back to the good old days. Da kann man sich ja schon fast mit einem kalten Bier auf den Weihnachtsmarkt stellen. You might as well grab a cold beer at the Christmas market. And of course, it's getting again way darker than even in autumn. Jetzt wird's ja schon 15 Uhr dunkel. It's already getting dark at 3 p.m. And notice how ja appears here again in the middle of the sentence to put emphasis on the meaning. Es ist kein Wunder, wenn man da keine Lust hat, morgens aufzustehen. So no wonder you don't feel like getting up in the morning. As you can see, talking about the weather is a pretty common way to bond here. You can literally complain in any kind of season. And I'm curious to know, do people in your country talk about the weather a lot too? What do they like to complain about? Let me know in the comments below. When talking about about things Germans love to complain about, we of course need to mention die Deutsche Bahn, the German railway. It's never on time, there are always constructions happening, and even if it's on time or early, Germans will point out what a rare occasion that is because of all the other times that it wasn't on time. Let's dive in. Die Deutsche Bahn ist wieder zu spät. Zu spät means too late. It's again too late. Es gibt immer Verspätungen. There are always delays. Die Bahn fällt ständig aus. The trains keep getting cancelled. Die Züge sind total überfüllt. Man bekommt keinen Platz. The trains are totally overcrowded. You can't get a seat. Man bekommt keinen Platz means you can't get a seat. And the next phrase especially applies for long distance trains in Germany. If you, for example, want to go from Munich to Hamburg or Munich to Berlin or Stuttgart to Berlin, the prices or the costs of train tickets have absolutely skyrocketed so that people think that it might be even cheaper or the same price to just take a plane. So people would say, lohnt sich Bahnfahren überhaupt noch bei den Preisen? Is it even worth taking the train with these prices anymore? And this only applies for the long distance trains, the ICE. For the regional trains in Germany, we have something called das 49 Euro ticket, the 49 euro ticket, which allows you to take regional trains for 49 euros, unlimited basically. And that has been definitely a huge benefit, to point out something positive in this video. Another topic that really frustrates Germans is a bit more serious. So taxes, the cost of living, and bureaucracy. With the highest personal income tax rate at 45% and the cost of living rising, especially with skyrocketing rents in urban areas and salaries not really keeping pace, the frustration is definitely growing. A lot of people think the system is unfair, and all of the bureaucracy and long paragraphs make it difficult to make their tax return properly, even for native speakers. So people are leaving money on the table because the system is getting more and more complex. To be honest, these topics are so big, I could make a separate video about each. Let me know in the comments if you're living here already or you're planning to relocate and if you'd be interested to know more about this. So here are some common phrases you might need when it's time for your Steuererklärung, the tax return. Das ist so kompliziert. Das ist so kompliziert. This is so complicated. Da blickt doch keiner mehr durch. Da blickt doch keiner mehr durch. No one can make sense of it anymore. Das stresst mich. Das stresst mich. This is stressing me out. Obviously, you can use this phrase for many other different contexts. Die Bürokratie in Deutschland ist zum Mäusemelken. Bureaucracy in Germany is to milk mice. Ja, genau, zum Mäusemelken. To milk the mice. This is a German idiom that expresses that something is a real nightmare. Die Bürokratie ist zum Mäusemelken. Speaking of German expressions and common idioms, if you want to learn more about these and how they're used in daily life conversations, make sure to tune in for next week's lesson. Also, if you need more help with learning German or getting started and you don't know where and how, the best way to study German with me is through my free beginners workshop that is linked below this video in the description box. I would love to see you there. Das ist alles für heute. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!